Hello, I am Andrew.
And I'm Paul.
And I am Vicky. Hello.
And this is Paul and Vicky and Andrew and Vicky watch all of Hellraiser. And tonight we'll be watching the 1988 sequel, Hellraiser 2, Hellbound.
For those of you who haven't seen this before, this is a bring your own copy watch along party. So if you've just joined us, you've got about 20 minutes of us talking nonsense before the film starts to get your copy of Hellraiser 2 set up and be ready to hit play when we do the countdown.
And then we can all watch along and provide some meaningful or not so meaningful social commentary.
I think based on the last one, a lot of it's just going to be discussing how unhygienic some things are and how badly things are going to scab and the potential
we were obsessed
for nasty infections.
We were obsessed with nails last time, weren't we?
Well, they were horrible.
They were.
I mean, honestly, watching that film, if nothing else, it got me to do my nails a lot more. Yeah, you interested in statistics?
No.
Well, tough. Because it's time for, and I am honestly looking really forward to this.
I married this.
Paul gets to hit the button, so if anything goes wrong, it's his fault. It's time for the return of Paul's exciting statistics. Yay!
Oh.
So hello and welcome to a new series of Paul's exciting world of Hellraiser statistics. Please note my wife's facial expressions when I use the words exciting and statistics in the same sentence. So last time when we were doing this, we were talking about a few long-running horror franchises. And that made me wonder which ones the longest running ones were and where does Hellraiser fit into all of it? So I intended to make it a bit interactive for everybody. So I'm going to allow you to shout out some names of long-running horror franchises according to Wikipedia and see where they come into this little scoreboard. So Vicky, would you like to go first?
Sure. 19.
Are you supposed to shout out the franchise name?
Oh, the franchise name. Oh,
see, we practiced.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Ooh,
come on. There we go. There we go. Yep. It comes in at 23rd place with 9 films over 25 years.
Is that it? Wow. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street's low, but it did have a TV series.
Yep.
So
never saw that.
I'm gonna go with Halloween. No. I'm gonna go with Halloween.
Okay, can I go with Halloween?
Halloween.
We go at number 6.
Yes.
That's 12 films over 43 years. It doesn't feel like it, but yeah, 43 years span for those.
It really does. Vicky.
Vicky, any more guesses from you?
Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th. 20th place. So there we have with 12 films over 28 years.
So is it if they got the same number of films, it's whichever's been the longest
yeah, so this is the no, it's not to do with the number of films, it's the longest running ones.
Night of the Living Dead.
Night of the Living Dead, which one's that one? That would be 8th place.
What?
There we go. Yep. 6 films over 40 years.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Vicky, any more guesses from you?
Scream.
Scream, 21st place. There we go. 6 films over 26 years.
God, I feel old.
Yeah, it does make you feel old seeing some of this stuff.
Jesus Christ.
I have a question.
Yep.
And if the answer is yes, I'm going to say the whole thing's a fix. Have you included Amityville Horror?
No.
Thank God. Okay. Right. I know. I'm pretty sure I can beat Vicky with Leprechaun.
Leprechaun. Okay. There we go. 22nd place. It was 8 films, but it was only over
1993.
only over 25 years.
Vicky gets another go.
I don't know if we have got anyone watching at home, but if you want to shout out something in the comments, please feel free to do so.
Don't think
Okay,
I've got
so
anyone in there yet.
this isn't going to be a very long one. I'd
Go on.
imagine it's going to be quite short. The Insidious films, have you put
No,
those
it
on there?
does not
Or The
make our
Conjuring?
scoreboard. No, again, does not make our scoreboard. We're looking for things
Too
with
new.
runs of 20 years or over in this one.
20 years or
Yep.
over.
The Howling.
The Howling. There we go. In at 16th place.
Okay.
There we go. 8 films over 30 years for that one. Any
Which-
classic ones?
Hammer?
Oh,
Yeah, it doesn't, because Hammer Horror was the sort
Oh,
of
for flip's
the
sake.
brand
Vicky,
of it. Not,
it's still Vicky's go, isn't it? Or does that count as a go?
Dracula?
Not
no,
a franchise.
Dracula.
Okay, no.
Psycho.
Psycho. No, haven't got that one in here. Didn't make 20 years.
It's quite worrying that we don't know what number
But
one
it
is.
did.
Well, I don't have it on my list according to Wikipedia, so let's put it that way.
Okay, fair enough.
According to Wikipedia, though.
Right, I will put that in my notes of things to find out.
Yes.
Silence of the Lambs, that series. 'Cause
No.
we had like
Ooh.
3.
No.
Yeah, but they were
unfortunately
all
not.
like in about 10
Pretty
years
close.
span.
Pretty close together. So, darling,
No,
if
they
you want to,
really weren't close together. What are
Well,
you on?
pretty
There
close
was at least
together.
a 10 years difference between the
Yeah,
Silence
but we're
of the
looking for
Lambs
20
and then
or
the other
more
one.
years.
Texas
It is
Chainsaw
20 or more
Massacre.
years.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre, 5th place. There we go.
Woohoo!
Highest so far. 9 films over 47 years.
You do realise this is basically going to be our
Our watch list, yeah.
Yeah, your
You've
watch list,
seen
yeah.
most of these, or will be watching them.
Vicky to play.
Vicky to play.
Am I supposed to know? I don't know.
Okay,
that many
think
horror
about
films.
the first horror film you showed your daughter.
This is going to make me look like a really bad. You're not talking about Dawn of the Dead.
No,
'cause
we've already got
Night.
Yeah, I was going to say. First horror film that I showed Lizzie.
Yeah.
There
Do
was
you want me to reveal that one to you?
Yeah.
Okay, in 19th place with
Oh,
4
The
films
Omen.
over.
Oh, no, she was a baby. She wouldn't
So
remember
remakes are
that.
included.
Yeah, so according to
I am
Wikipedia,
so calling Psycho. I am also going to bid. Oh God, no!
The Hills. Oh no.
We've done Texas Chainsaw. Hills Have Eyes. Was that?
not got it on my list.
No.
Okay, so how's about some sci-fi horror?
Oh, sci-fi horror. Alien.
Aliens.
There we go. In 9th place, 6 films over 37 years.
Oh, God. Terminator.
No, either it's not being classified as horror.
But the first Terminator was an outright. Everyone knows it was a slasher. Okay,
Yep.
fine. I am. Oh God, my brain is melting. Wishmaster.
I haven't got Wishmaster on this list now.
Okay.
Do you want me to start revealing some from the bottom, and then
Yeah,
you can
let's
make some
start
more
from the
guesses?
bottom. Let's start from the
Final
bottom.
Destination.
No, I like that one, but no, I haven't got that one on here. I'm
Nah,
afraid.
that was all in quite a tight
Yeah.
span, wasn't it?
Right, so in last place, 25th, we have Camp Blood.
Camp
had
Blood's got 11.
11 films over 20 years, apparently.
Oh my God, Camp Blood is our next run.
Right. 24th, we have The Ring. Because apparently the Japanese
That didn't
ones.
go
and-
over 20 years.
No, it did. The Japanese ones did. That's been going on
Yeah.
for ages. I didn't realize he was doing international movies.
So
Yeah.
13 films in 21 years.
And the plot
what-
just gets mental.
Right, what have we got next? We've got 18th. I've not heard of this one before, but the Witchcraft series.
Ooh.
Apparently, it's got 16 films in it.
I
over
have
30
never
years.
heard of that.
No, so that might be one to look into at some point. So what have we got? 17th. Chucky makes an appearance in Child's Play. 8 films over 30 years.
Oh my God.
15th. What have we got? Tremors.
The classic, greatest,
Yes,
greatest series of all time. We haven't done it because we know you can't. The rules are you can't put more than one movie on number one. And all the movies in Tremors are perfect.
I didn't realise that it had been going for 30 years, but there we go. Yeah, because a 1990 entry, it seems to be relatively fresh in my
And
mind.
a TV
apparently not.
series. Puppet
There we go.
Master!
Master.
That's what I was thinking.
Yep, 14 films over 30 years.
So good.
There we go. The Exorcist. So only got 5 films, but apparently they span 31-year run.
Yes.
12th, we got Hellraiser. Why did nobody suggest Hellraiser today? I don't know. 11 films over 35 years.
Yes.
12.
Predator. So there we go. We got 5 films over 35 years with Predator.
5?
Yeah, because there's a new one out. There's Prey, isn't there?
Which is really good. There's Predator, Predator 1, Predator. Whoa, hang on. There's Predator, Predator 1, Predator, Predator 2, Predators, The Predator, and then there's been Prey.
Yeah.
But there's also been AVP1 and AVP2.
Yeah, strangely enough, I don't include them because I happen to like the Predator and Alien franchises, and strangely, I just missed those films off of both of them. I don't know why.
Well, Alien v Predator?
Yeah.
They were not
horror
good.
movies.
The hospital scene was horrible.
Yeah, according to Wikipedia, they are their own franchise, so they don't sit within the Alien or the Predator.
Fair enough.
But
I wish we could say the same of the most recent Alien films.
There we go. Right, 10th place, Children of the Corn. 11 films over 36 years.
I want to do.
Andy, I'm disappointed, man. Evil Dead.
Oh!
5 films over 41 years.
Of course I missed that one. I've erased it from my mind.
What?
Okay.
Some of the lines in there are horrible.
Right, and now
we
get
accept the fact that it is groovy.
And now we get into ones which might be questionably described as horror, but according to Wikipedia, they are. In 4th place, we have Godzilla.
That's not horror.
No.
Well, the original one apparently was.
No.
According to Wikipedia.
Godzilla stalking babysitters.
Yep. So that's 36 films over 66 years. So it's
if Psycho isn't in there, that can quite literally. I'm gonna say no.
In 3rd place, we have the Mummy franchise.
Fine. Absolutely fair.
19 films over 84 years. That's impressive.
Jesus.
Yep. There we go. 2nd place, we have the Invisible Man. Which,
is that a franchise?
Apparently so. It's got 7 films.
Again, Psycho definitely counts.
Yeah, I wonder if they classified that as thriller rather than horror. I'm not sure.
Don't.
And then in 1st place, we have King Kong, which apparently the original
was.
No.
According to Wikipedia, this is apparently.
No.
Stewards inquiry.
No. Statistics bending the world to make it, fit.
But still, it's impressive. An 88-year run, regardless of whether it's horror or not. An 88-year run is impressive.
Okay, we'll grant you that.
Okay, so that's all done now. I don't know if you'll recall, but a couple of years ago, we did some stuff about Eurovision and managed to successfully show that the UK position in Eurovision was higher on years that Halloween film was released.
Yes, I remember
so I thought to myself very quickly, has this been Eurovision recently? Is the same true of Hellraiser films? And the answer to that is no, not at all. No, there's no correlation between Hellraiser films and how well we do in Eurovision, unfortunately.
Shame.
Right, so over to you now, Andy, for some amazing facts.
Ooh. So, last time on Amazing Facts, he says, without trying to set his headphones off again. God, my buttons are flying. So, good news. Clive Barker's still got a job.
Yay.
Executive producer, which loosely translates as we gave you a fancy title, we're going to make you do lots of work, but you don't necessarily have lots to say. Anyway, first film came out 9th of September, 1988.
Mm-hmm.
Second film came out first film came out 9th of September 1987. Second film came out 10th September 1988. So
Did they wait before starting to make it?
No. New World Pictures greenlit the sequel whilst the first film was still in post-production. So he actually had about something like 16 months to do it, which is a reasonable length of time. They thought it was going to do well. How well do you think Hellraiser did?
I don't think it did that well.
Give me $1 return.
Oh, let's say $1.50 on the dollar.
Okay, Vicky, for every $1 invested in Hellraiser, how much do you think the production company that they got in ticket sales?
For
What do you
every
think
dollar,
box office
I
was?
would say they got $2 back.
No, off a $1 million budget, they made $14.6 million.
Wow, that's impressive.
So that got greenlit to hell.
Yeah.
So Clive Barker still got a job lining up exec producer. It's also got a minor problem because originally it was going to be written and produced by Michael McDowell.
Okay.
But then he dropped out due to personal reasons. So they had less than 12 months, which made it a little bit problematic. So everything was going fine until it then absolutely wasn't. Anyway, Clive Barker, I'm going to get there in the end.
One of them, yep.
Wrote the story and was executive producer. He co-wrote the script with Pete Atkinson's, and they got Tony Randall to direct it. He got in because he was previously the uncredited editor on Hellraiser, so he and Barker knew each other, which was very useful, good working relationship. But it's still a case of, oh my God, we've got to run through all this. Anyway, they also got some cast back, which was pretty cool. They got this lovely man. Anyone know who that is?
Well, that would be Pinhead.
That's
Yes.
Doug Brownie, known as Pinhead. They got the lass who play Laurie. They got the lass who play Kirsty. And Kirsty, sorry. And they couldn't get Larry because Andrew Robinson, he basically refused to reprise the role.
What a shocker.
Yeah, I can't imagine why. I mean, he was treated wonderfully. Many reasons, being bounced around. There's some people think it was fees. Some people think it was schedule because he apparently really enjoyed being on Hellraiser and he had a good time. He got to improvise various lines, and as we all know, he did a phenomenal job. However, him not turning up meant that they had to hastily rewrite the script, which is one of the reasons why Barker has a co-writer for it. And according to a lot of people, this accounts for a bit of the muddled story structure in the final film because they had to redo everything. But they did get this guy back.
Okay.
Anyone want to guess?
The guy who delivered the mattress?
No. This is Skinless Frank.
Oh, okay.
Yes, this is Oliver Smith. He was basically got the role. He got to return to his role and two other ones due to his incredibly naturally skinny frame, which meant they could put prosthetics and do a lot more. They could basically build an arm up on him because he was so thin. They could build the arm up to a normal amount of flesh, for example, and then just carve that away, and it wouldn't be anywhere near his skin. So brilliant. He's loads of work for that stuff, which is pretty cool. Plus, Skinless Frank was quite good. They also got a budget cut.
After making 14 million, you know.
Well, no, this is the thing. The dollar tanked in the value against the pound. You know, the flip happened. So whereas before, as they were getting. The reason they shot in England and the reason Clive Barker was able to have so much control and be a first-time director was because it was cheap as hell for the American production company because the buying power of the pound was humongous. And then the British economy did a bit better and it fell. So they just lost. They got the same budget, but it was less.
It wasn't worth as much.
Yeah, it wasn't worth as much. They got absolutely shafted. Which sucks, but that's production. But there you go. And it also got its own urban myth. This is a picture this is a still from the promo materials that were going around for the movie, right? Now, you've got to remember, this was back in 1988, so that was when we didn't have the internet. We had to make our own bullshit up. This was all going around. You had all this on the promo material. Film comes out. This scene isn't in it. Everyone goes, "Oh my god, what happened?" And it becomes this legendary scene
that's so horrible that you can't show it at the cinema.
Had to be cut because it was just too awesome. Peter Atkin, who was the director, has his own reason for cutting it, which is it was shit.
Yes.
They tried the scene, didn't work, looked nah, and screwed up the whole flow of the film. But it did have that incredible single frame promo. It's been put out. It has been found since, and it's been put out in, I believe it's Arrow Films box set. Have got it, but again, a wonderful example of filmmaking. I think of great idea for a scene. Technically, it looks good if you see the still, but the actual thing got scrapped to hell. But everyone thought it had been cut because it was too awesome to exist. Yeah. So there we go. Anyway, what the critics said. Again, like last time, bit of a mixed bag. Roger Ebert, Chicago Sun-Times. It is simply a series of ugly and bloody episodes strung together one after another like a demo tape by a perverted special effects man.
So he obviously loved it as much as the first one.
Bad review, even though I'm sitting there going,
that sounds interesting, yes.
Yeah. Variety, a maggoty carnival of mayhem, mutilation and dismemberment, awash in blood and recommended only for those who thrive on such junk. Again, negative review, just to make it clear.
Yeah.
And Washington Post, there are enough bizarre and shocking effects here to satisfy all but the most demanding genre fans. Positive review.
Positive, yeah.
Film critic, Hellbound, Bill Gribden of the Film Critic was actually just very straightforward. He just says it's an excellent sequel, which I think we're going to find out it was. And the LA Times says, this follow-up is faster and campier than its mostly somber predecessor, but the basic grim tenets of British horror author Clive Barker's supernatural worldview are still intact. Okay. I couldn't find out if that was for or against. But yeah,
it sounds good.
Yeah. It fills me with a certain crispy joy. But that's the reviews that were doing the rounds. So that makes us wonder. I mean, and Paul's got the précis. Do you want me to read it, or are you reading it?
I can read this one. So Here's what IMDb had to say about the film. Kirsty is brought to an institution after the horrible events of Hellraiser 1987, where the occult obsessive head doctor resurrects Julia and unleashes the Cenobites and their demonic underworld. So Vicky,
based on those reviews, and based on which I thought were a fair, it's like 50-50 on Rotten Tomatoes, and based on that précis, how are you feeling about this?
Yeah, I'm game. Looks like it's going to be a good movie. Hopefully.
We always hope for a good movie. Well,
yeah.
Right then.
What are you expecting from this?
I'm hoping to potentially build on the story from the one before, make it an actual sequel. Doesn't sound like it sounds like it's going to be built because obviously Julie is there, and I've just noticed it's the same actress. So I think it's just going to be building on what was there before, and probably more torture for Kirsty. Bless her.
Sounds about right. Okay. If we're ready, even though we don't seem to have a comment section today.
Okay then.
No, there's no one there.
Well, we're ready.
Yeah.
Vicky, would you like to do the countdown? You can do it from 3.
3, 2, 1, go.
I don't know. I think the uniform might be a bit possibly World War One. Sorry.
Yeah, not quite.
He
sure.
looks like he's from one of the Carry On films. Oh, don't do it, dude. Stay
if
away.
Alien taught us anything, this is Yeah, that's
This
so.
is not a good scene. Something's going to come out there. There we are.
Bye bye, Mr.
Yeah.
Eyes. Oh.
Yep, you can hear it squirming already. Here it comes.
Oh!
There we go, maggots. There you go. Scarlet Tiger Chili is not a fan of the maggots. What
okay, right.
going on here?
No.
And they haven't even let her have a shower yet.
Yeah, it's like we're pretty, she's been in a house full of absolute death. We know that. But hey, don't act weird or anything. That would be bad.
This girl's been through a traumatic event and there's a bunch of people who just creep up behind her constantly.
Oh, lovely. Hey, it's bad nails again.
Physical examination will find no cuts on her, so someone's going to have to explain that blood.
All that blood, yes. Someone's been jam wrestling, yes.
Oh, wow, it's like the Battlestar Galactica where they keep descending and they discover that they're being eaten.
What?
Did you watch a different Battlestar Galactica to me?
Did you ever watch the pilot on the first series? If you did, you'd notice.
Oh, yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean.
Sub-level 2 to go down, and that's
yeah.
where people are screaming. Hey, creepy, sexy guy. Hitting on your patient is bad.
We have seen nothing to suggest he's hitting on the patient.
His creepy ass look.
Uncle Frank with an echo.
Man.
Very, very orderly house. It must be owned by a psychopath.
Yep, it has confirmed the mattress has arrived.
And he is going to do very weird things to it.
I don't want to know what the technical term for it is.
Oh, okay. I have a feeling I know what's going to happen. Oh, no. Oh, See, I don't actually like watching things get ripped apart most of the time.
Good job you didn't choose a film where that happens a bit then.
You never told me that I'd end up having to watch the lot. Okay.
I think that was generally watch all of gave it away in some respects.
Oh. Why? Oh. Why?
This is magnificent.
Grim. It's grim. This is really grim.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, good grief! No. Ew. Oh, just die already.
Oh my
Go for the
god!
thigh vein. It's quicker.
Oh. Okay,
going.
number one.
Oh.
Just let him. Oh.
Oh.
Enjoying it, Vicky?
No, she's fine. She's fine. Oh, on the white carpet as well.
I don't think that effect is quite good enough for this scene, but I think they definitely tried.
See,
that worked, but the arm didn't. And
have they just been suckered? It's just like, get all four of you out of the hell so that we can sneak in the back door
and claim squatters' rights.
Yeah.
Okay, so Pinhead's being a bit creepy.
Yeah, but he's been quite an accommodating host, really.
Yeah, I think he's definitely trying to be friendly to her. Hey, wander around, try and find your dad, explore hell. We'll strip the flesh from your bones later. Some makeup.
A lot of makeup.
Now is not the time to see if that's a good color for you. That's.
I mean, of all the places to go to try on lipstick, that's not really.
Ooh, gooey. Yay! Ish. We're just in a hospital with several hundred dead people.
And covered in blood. He'll be fine.
Yeah. I think
But the guy from the first one.
he was a mover from the first one who.
Ha! See, the bad guy came back. Wow. Okay.
Well,
And we're done.
kind of. Because now we move on to the next section. So, this is where it all gets a bit intense, and Paul definitely handles the comments section.
Fair enough.
So, Vicky,
Andy,
what did you think? We're at the discussion phase. We're not at the points phase.
Okay, so I thought the storyline was generally good. I thought the gore was just, some of it was
In a good
unwatchable for me. Some of it.
What now? I know you have seen movies with more, literally with more blood, more viscera in it, and you've been
Through my
fine
fingers,
with it.
yeah.
No, but you have. What I'm asking is it that it was? Is it that the effects were especially good?
Okay,
or
so
the way it was done.
I think the way it was done, and some of them, like the brain operation, just made me just kind of hit your nerves, and you just don't want to sort of see that. However, the storyline was very good. There were a few hiccups along the way that I don't necessarily understand, but do understand, like him becoming like the god of Cenobites, but I think that's because it was a different god by the sound of it. It was that Leviathan.
But that's always been the god. I thought that was presented as always. By the way, Tiger, yeah. The self-cutting with the cutthroat rays. That scene,
that bit.
Now again, I think that's a brilliant example of what I meant. The actual violence that on display was relatively minor, but it was the way it was done. It was the disturbing.
Yeah.
And that's I'm going to say I think that's why I like it, because it is unpleasant. I can't laugh my way through it. I think that's very effective direction. But yeah, the God of the Cenobites thing, you were saying about him.
It was almost like there was two separate, that there were other gods. If you remember Julia, when she mentioned him, she was like, this is the god that I worship, which kind of implies that there are others. And when they changed the shape of the box, it seemed to diminish this Leviathan's power, who actually wanted the Doctor who Leviathan gave the power to. So I wonder if there's another god, which kind of the other Cenobites kind of followed, maybe. And then the Leviathan gave him all the goodies.
I thought he was riffing more on the he was saying, "Oh my God," in the Judeo-Christian, in the Abrahamic faith's interpretation of God, and she was saying, "No, this is my God." So almost like that's the devil. Rather, I didn't get a vibe of there being two different gods. I did get the idea of there being two factions. I don't know if that's Leviathan just screwing with everyone for shits and giggles, because
it seems that depending on the configuration was to who had the power. Because when the box is out, the Cenobites have got a lot of power and can do pretty much anything, whereas when it was in that shard configuration, the Cenobites sort of seemed to lose all of their power, and the Doctor got sort of godlike powers at that point, and then when it went back again, he lost his.
I don't know, but I like the fact I don't know. Because we are essentially talking about creatures from another metaphysical world. So not having a really useful guide to them is kind of I'm liking that confusion. Much like with the horror, I liked it because it was very unpleasant rather than technically accomplished. It was just, that's a really unpleasant idea. Oh my god. Because we've laughed our asses off through far worse displays of dismemberment, but because it was done in 2 seconds and you just went, oh yeah, that's a laugh, we were fine with it. But yeah, so did you like the character development? I mean, what was your, if there is favorite is possibly the wrong word.
Kirsty's character development, to be honest, was slightly it was much better towards the end, but it was very disappointing at the start. She was still so woefully freaking naive. She kind of keeps falling for the same things. It was obvious that hell was not where her dad was going to go. It was obvious that it was going to be Frank, and it was just like, what is wrong with you, woman? You're just...
I don't know if it was obvious, but I get.
Yeah. To me, it was.
Okay.
It was Frank.
Okay. I thought it was a nice little twist, but
because she saw the door.
I don't think it was a twist at all.
Yeah, she saw the door and she's like, "That's my dad's house," but she'd forgotten that it was Frank's house before it was her dad's house.
Oh, at that point, no, I get what you mean. I'm talking like the first point when he appears and in the jam wrestling scene.
The thing is, the only one that was, or rather potentially two people that were 100% in hell was Frank and Julia. And there's no basis for thinking that her father would automatically end up in hell because Frank killed him. So, either she thinks my dad is a pretty shit dad, that's why he's now in hell, or, it just did not. She's
2 or 3 days after a seriously traumatic incident.
Potentially, yeah. Good point. But still, it was like when they went into the doctor's house and they're like, oh, let's have hooray. And you're like, this guy knows absolutely nothing about what's going on, and you've just let him wander randomly into a home where
it's her fault for buddying up with Lieutenant Gorman. I'm just saying, he's shit and he dies.
Well, to be fair, I think a little bit of his death, not to be harsh, is actually on her hands, because she did not, she would have recognised Julia in seconds. She warned him. Not properly. She said, "Oh, right, fair enough. Go off." And it's like, and you're shocked he's dead. Just really.
Normally, at this point, we would ask what your favourite kill is. Now, I think that's an inappropriate question. So, what do you think was the most evocative, or which kill really did you think was the best cinema? From the view of it being a horror movie out to cause you tension, and then catharsis through the process of horror movie.
Actually really, to be honest, I really enjoyed Frank's death. Julia's revenge with Frank, because it was more sort of basically every woman's revenge on some little shits that we've managed to date. And she finally got, she broke free from the whole "I love Frank," and then was just like, "No, you rat bastard, you killed me, I'm going to get my revenge." And it was just like, I hated her guts, but I was actually quite satisfied and happy with that ending. I was like, yeah, you go, girl, rip his ass out.
In the first film, she's been so besotted with him that she's just willing to murder.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sacrifice people. And then he betrays her and it's like, oh, it's nothing personal. And you can just tell she's waiting for that revenge. As soon as she sees him, she's up for it. It's like, it's time for payback.
The fact that we know all the stuff she did in the first film, and as the audience of the first film, and then we've seen all the stuff she's done in this film, and we're still on her side and think she's justified. That is a testament to how big a prick Frank is.
Yeah.
Oh, he is such a. Oh, he's the slimiest.
Yeah.
And what did he bring Kirsty down to hell for? Oh, to have sex. That was it. It's like, really?
Well, that does seem to be his whole thing.
Yes, but like, go for women that don't know you're an absolute scumbag. Why go for your freaking niece?
Because
He's
a
an absolute
filthy
scumbag.
degenerate. Yeah.
Oh, just
So,
grim.
what did you think
He's
of
not a-
Pinhead in this?
Again, they weren't like, I would say, atypically the bad guys at all. In fact, they kind of saved their asses again. Well, tried to. I found them remembering that they were once human slightly, in a way, a little bit disappointing, because it would have been something they would have been drawn to as a human. So I would imagine that it would be something that they would have carried with them and probably known that they were human and going, you know what, I wasn't born this way. So that kind of realization, it didn't flow particularly well for me. It was more, actually, I would have been more impressed if he goes, yeah, that was me, and I've moved on. And that would have kind of had a bit more of a oomph than, oh my God, I was once human and I'm going to smile at you. And it's like, no. You opened the box and you just went, hey, I'm into this. And then,
Yeah.
Whereas, this where it's like, oh, I've just found my humanity. And you're like, no, that just doesn't, that was a bit disappointing for me, I think.
It would have been interesting if they sort of found humanity and then gone, you know what, I'm a human again, but I'm not a nice human.
Yeah, there's a definite sense. I would have thought to have got to the point where you do that. If someone went, hey, you're human, it just, as you said, he'd just be like, yeah, can I be made a Cenobite again? That was so much fun.
Okay.
Do you think, a lot has been said about it working as a sequel? How do you think, as a continuation of the Hellraiser?
I think it worked really well. I think it was just a good sort of step on for sort of Kirsty as kind of closure. Like, she let go of her dad, which was good. You kind of saw the Cenobites being reformed at the end, on the same pillar with Julia, which I thought was a bit weak, because it's like, hang on a minute, she's like a midget, why is she with you chaps? But who am I to judge? I suppose she has probably killed quite a few people, so she's getting on top of that. So I thought it was a really good sort of follow on. But I think the next film, I would be disappointed if it followed Kirsty's line, because to be honest with you, I would say that finally by the end of that film, her character just went, and I know where the shit lies, so I'm going to go in the opposite direction now. She looks like she's kind of gone, you know what, I'm ready to move on to the next chapter of my life. So
cool. Do you have any other thoughts? I mean, any other thoughts before, or Paul, any thoughts, or even the audience, any thoughts?
Yeah, thoughts from others.
I mean,
So for me, the Cenobites were kind of incidental to the story again, which I wasn't expecting, because I thought they were going to sort of amp up the appearance of the Cenobites. But again, they didn't use them an awful lot. They probably only had like 5 to 10 minutes of screen time again.
They definitely got more screen time, and they definitely got more lines. It's so I think on that they did use them more, or rather they gave them more screen time. I think your comment about they didn't use them more, narratively use them more, is fair. Their entrance was fucking bonza. That was solid.
Yeah, it's just with this kind of franchise, you kind of, in the first films, you only see a little bit of the bad guy as such, and then they tend to really overdo it. But they've held back on this sequel, not overdoing the Cenobites. And I'm just sort of interested to see how they'll do it for the rest of the series, whether they will just go, and this film is going to be like 90% Cenobites, or whether they'll just keep little bits of them.
Interesting. We will obviously we will see how it progresses.
Yeah, we'll see.
I thought that, from my viewpoint, I thought there was a lot of nice mirroring of the original. There was definitely an attempt at narrative continuity, even if there was the massive leap in location. And there were also some visual mirrorings, which I thought was quite nice.
Yeah, there were quite a few hooks in there, which I think could be expanded on in different films.
It gave
it's like the three puzzle boxes. You know, is there any difference between them? Why are there three? Why not just one?
I like that, and like I like
because
the
gateways
idea
can look very different.
Yeah, I liked the idea of of a wider world than we have been witness to, and there's this, like with not understanding what was going on with the little Cenobite war, like not quite getting a grip on what Leviathan was. There's this sense of something bigger, something more, of something more. Just this wider world that we are not getting privy to, because we're not intergalactic sex monsters from hell, which is, good. I thought. That as a sequel, I thought it was strong, but I think definitely the third act was a little bit ropey. There were some amazing visuals, and there were some wonderful moments, but it was a little bit, first act good, second act good, third act I can see where things got a bit janky. And I don't know how much of that is production troubles or production changes, or because they had the script changes, they had a very clear setup for stuff, and it would have been brilliant if the guy who played her dad had been able to turn up. Because imagine getting home to the house, it's the dad. Oh, it's actually Frank. That would be magnificent, but they couldn't do it because the actor wasn't there. So yeah, I with regards to the gore, I know you said you were having troubles with it. I know Scarlett Tiger Chili said she was having trouble with it. I am finding it easier to watch because it is so disturbing. In that this is because we've done, especially with the slasher stuff, we have been so used to laughing. As I said, we've been so used to laughing our way through it. We're so used to being entertained by it. Actually, watching some horror and being repulsed by it it's nice that someone's going, hey, this action is really bad, and if you think about it, it's screwed in the head. And again, the guy who played the Doctor, very little happened in that scene, but so much was communicated about the characters. And so on that level, I thought it was very interesting. Whether it's something you can stomach, obviously, is individual. I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm saying that I thought the techniques employed and the way it was presented as being not this isn't comedy horror. This is roller coaster horror. So that's my thoughts. And yeah, I'm very excited to see the next one. So, but before we do that,
where does this film fit into the Hall of Hellraisers?
To be honest, I actually think that's slightly better than the first one. So I'm going to put it, just move this first one down a little bit.
So we move the first one down a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
May one ask why?
I just felt it developed a lot more. Like a lot of the characters in the first one was it was such a very sort of slow burn, and I just felt that the development in the second one was there a bit more, and I enjoyed that.
Okay. So you're happy with those two where they are?
Yeah, happy with them where they are.
Okay. So
the story was definitely more evolved. Cool. So does that mean you're looking forward to the next one?
I don't know yet. I'll think about that one.
Reserving judgment for the time being.
But when will the
Yeah.
next one be, Paul?
So the next one will be on Tuesday, the 30th of May.
And what's the next one about, Paul?
The next one is about an investigative reporter must send the newly unbound Pinhead and his legions back to hell. So obviously they've escaped hell somehow.
Why would they escape? They were happy there.
Yeah, but
Because-
someone's sending them back.
Fine.
So tell us, based on that, is Vicky excited?
Yes.
Obviously,
Yes.
yeah, obviously.
Yes. Right.
Thank you very much for
No
joining us, Scarlet Tiger
worries.
Chili.
Scarlet Tiger Chili has made it all the way through, and you
well
can.
done, you.
Yay! She's been having a rough time. You can find Paul and Andrew watch more about the Paul and Andrew watch all ofs on trashortreasure.blog. Or you can search Facebook for the Super Fortress Hardcore Genki Hall of Awesome, where we bung all of the wonderful things that are happening. And on Thursdays on the Discord, there is the Trash or Treasure Watch Along. And what else? Oh, yeah. Sundays, there's Bella Lugosi's Shed, poor quality film club, and listen to Bella Lugosi's Shed because they're awesome. We're going to try and rope some of them into joining us here. So, Vicky.
So thank you for watching Paul and Andrew and Vicky watch all of Hellraiser. Have a really good night and watch something more friendly tomorrow.
Until next time.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.